Hello, everybody. It's Mark Ling here, and I've got with me a special guest. Her name is Dena. She's a happily married mother of two daughters. She used to be a real estate appraiser running her own business. She got into real estate several years ago, back in the early 2000s, flipping properties. She actually accumulated a huge set of apartments. I think it was 16 apartment unit blocks, and so forth. But the 2008 recession wiped all of that out. And then, things changed dramatically from there. And she's done a lot of other stuff too, though. She's had a profound tragedy happen to her in 2014, which caused her to go ahead and write a book and start a non-profit organization. And she spent a lot of time working in non-profits. But the issue with that is that doesn't pay you money. So you still need to be able to pay money to live and to do stuff, and even to support charities or anything that you want to do in your life. And now she is one of our beta testers of Keegan and Chris's new system, and it's been doing really well. I mean, she's only just been going at this for a matter of months, and her best day was $1,555. She's regularly doing well with this, daily profits and so forth, and is here to scale things up even further. And anyway, without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to Dena. Welcome along.
Well, thank you. Well, that was quite an introduction. I appreciate it. And yes, I mean, the only thing that I would add on to that is I am the mother of three.
Oh,
And
three, sorry.
no, that's okay. But my oldest daughter did pass away.
Oh, sorry. That's
So yeah,
I'm
so
sorry
that
about
those
that.
are
That's
not
yeah.
connect. But I always feel weird in that space of like, how many kids do you have? And in my heart, I know I have three. So
No,
I
you
was
do. I would be exactly the same if that ever
uh,
happened.
yeah. So I will
Honest.
just say that is the only edit I have to Mark's introduction of me. But thank you for the lovely introduction.
Uh, and when you got into um this whole sphere, like, of making money on the internet and so forth, um what made you go, you know what, I want to give this YouTube thing a try? Like, I think I can do this. I can make video ads. I can set up these kind of landing pages and just give this a go. Like, I can do this.
I can do this. So I didn't think I could do this just like right out of the gates. For me, it was a progression. So Mark just shared with you that we started a nonprofit, and we started the nonprofit very grassroots, which means that we were doing it all our own.
Mm.
Every step of it we were doing, and that included all of the social media, that included the back office, the website. And so I was immersed in this world that I had never been immersed in before. And I started learning a lot that maybe for other people might be super easy. And for me, it wasn't. But I did it. And so I kind of had this can do attitude to get it done. Mothers, like, what do they say? Like, necessity is the mother of invention. So for me, the
Yeah.
necessity was to do it with a very little budget. And that meant me doing it. So for the last 7 years, I've been very much in the internet and trying to figure out how to do all of these different aspects of it. And what I got to see was there was a lot of, there was a lot of opportunity, but I tried to use a lot that was out there for our own benefit for the nonprofit first as a consumer, if that makes sense. So I was on
I
the
get
other
you. Yeah.
side as a consumer, and I was buying the courses, and I was, to figure out how to build the website, for example. I was buying the course to figure out how to do that, to figure out other aspects of how to accomplish something within the nonprofit. I was doing that. I was hiring freelancers to create our logo, and on and on and on, right?
Mm.
So as I got immersed into this relationship with creation through the internet, my bandwidth of understanding grew, Mark. And so that evolved over time. So that's an important part to answer Mark's question. Is it didn't happen overnight. I didn't want to all of a sudden be some, digital nomad that would, take on
Yeah.
the internet. So as that grew and progressed, I learned that making an income online was possible. And for me, that was really important because I am not making an income through our nonprofit, which is very, very important to me to have it be sustainable and have it thrive and serve its mission, and do it in a way that I can be at the front and the forefront of it, driving it, but be comfortable in my world and my budget and in my family. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. So basically, though, the average person coming into this, the average person is not going to, I guess, be able to say, okay, that's easy for you. You've spent 7 years then learning how to build a website. So therefore, this is going to, some people will say that's too hard then for me to go ahead and do this because I don't want to spend 7 years before I start doing this. So what would you say to that? Like if you were to have discovered this kind of training then now and you didn't have those 7 years, would you say that that would have put you at a massive disadvantage?
No. So for me, I want to clarify. So it wasn't 7 years that I had to learn a website, but through the duration of 7 years, there was chunks like chapters in a book, and each chapter brought about new opportunity to learn because I needed to and wanted to accomplish a new task. So I had certain things that I wanted to do. So I might be different than the people out there, but I think at the heart of your question is people who really want to be able to make an income online through the internet. Is it that difficult? So no. And remember, I am the person who, I don't come to this with all the degrees in science, or knowing how to code or whatever one might think, but I just wanted to be able to have a sustainable income. And so the things that I learned, that really is just my evolution to get to where I am today. When people listen to you and I talking today, they're going to have an evolution to get to where they are today. But it doesn't mean that where they are today, they have to have this great, story behind it of 7 years. And I don't want to make it seem that way. It's just
because I get what you're saying. I mean, the fact is though, when you were part of the beta testing group, you've had a lot less than what these students, if they decide to either join the program or take part in one of the free workshops or something, you're getting less because you didn't have the templates that they get. Like they get over a dozen websites already created for them that they can press a button, install it, change the words around, and immediately start promoting an offer without having to learn any of the tech that you actually got to learn that in the beta testing. But the new students, they don't actually have to learn all of that. So that's kind of handy for them. But also, I guess from your perspective, it wasn't that hard anyway. Even if you did have to learn it, I guess it was quite doable, right? Like there's nothing in this model that is rocket science.
Correct. I would agree with that.
So there's three main phases, right? You're writing an ad and getting it created and online. You've got building a landing page that will convert to sales, or not convert to sales, convert clicks through to the affiliate offer. Now, the main engine of this whole thing is the affiliate offer, and yet you're not having to create that because that is some millionaire out there has gone and made a great program or offer or a supplement or something. They're paying anywhere from 70% commissions all the way up to 90%, depending on what type of product it is. So they've got their funnel sorted out. You just have to find a way to get the right people watching your ad and then get them through to the offer. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And how did you find then? I mean, the hardest part for a lot of people, they'll be thinking, okay, you're running video ads. I think they're about 90 seconds long, 60 to 90 seconds. Correct me if I'm wrong. And how do people Well, how long will that take? How long does it take you to make a video ad? Bearing in mind, I guess that you're not on camera, right? You don't use your real voice, or you do use your real voice? You don't use a robot voice?
For me, I've done both, but
Okay, you've done both.
Yep.
Yep. So robot voice or your real voice. But for some people, they may do just one or the other, but
Yeah.
totally. Okay. How long does it take you to put together a video, considering you're not on camera, and you haven't even written a script yet? So, like, I'm just interested in knowing, how long does it take to write the script? How long does it take to get the video then made after that?
So first part of your question is, how long does it take to write the script? Not long. I would say within 45 minutes to an hour at the most. And then for me, I do multiple videos because I like to test videos against videos. So, once you get the main video, the other videos are very easy to create off of the first video. So, but to answer your question about how long, so maybe 2 to 3 hours it takes me to do that core video.
That's really interesting to hear. Different people tell me different lengths of time, and I think it's going to be different for different people. I never hear longer than 4 hours, and I pretty much don't hear longer than about 20 minutes. I get the odd person say 20 minutes. I'm like, wow, you must be super fast at this. But that's because you use AI software. It's artificial intelligence, right? You insert your script, and then what does it do from there once you insert your script?
So with the AI software that I have used, you insert your script and it creates the screens to match up with your script. And then if you want to change those out because you want to get a different feeling, you can. I'm a super creative person. So with Mark's question about how long it takes me, because I'm more creative, I have a vision in my head of what I want it to look like. So that maybe is why it might take me a little longer.
So when you say it creates screens, you mean it pulls in like stock footage, correct? Like it's, for instance, if you were to say in your script, I'll just make up something. I'll just make up something here. This powerful formula, this powerful all natural formula helps regrow damaged hair follicles. I'll just make that up. So if you put that in there, then the software will automatically grab somebody who's losing hair and maybe scratching their head like that, and might put that and then they may put that as the background while that is being said, and it'll put the subtitles, right? It'll do something like that. So something that can go with the text, and then you might go, it's not quite the vision I had for that. I might go looking at their 3 million plus stock images and videos and see if there's something a bit better. And then you might drag and drop it out and put a different background in there. Or you might go, actually, no, that's perfect. That's great. I'll look at the next scene and see what it's done for me there.
Correct.
Okay. And when it comes to using your own voice or an artificial voice, either way, is that very time consuming to just get the voice part sorted?
No, it's not.
Okay, great. So you find it very straightforward then to go ahead and do those things, and you're obviously doing pretty well. And I'm guessing that you've got plans to try and scale things further and higher. What has it meant to you to be able to achieve the success, and how confident are you that you're going to be able to take things a lot further in the future?
Okay, so two-part question. I'm really excited about the success piece of it because it is what I want, right? I shared that in the beginning. So anytime any human being is achieving what they have set out to achieve, it's a good thing, and we're very happy. And then as far as like scaling my business, I am the kind of person where I've been very realistic about my goals. I know if I was making $100,000 in America and I was having taxes taken out and all the things taken out of my paycheck, I know that will get me a net of $6,400 a month. So for me, that equals a little over $200 a day. So I know that's a bare minimum goal for me. I know I might be talking to somebody who wants to scale it to the moon, and that's great, but I wanted to keep it very tangible for me. And then anything that I can grow beyond that is a plus. So again, this is very specific goals that I have, and I knew what I needed to bring in to achieve my goal. And so absolutely super possible to achieve what my goal is.
Cool. And obviously you must be well ahead of that goal by now, I guess, if you're at your 1500 as your best day and stuff like that. And I guess you're now, what we see with, well, what I've seen with a lot of people, some people are like, some people are sitting there trying to maintain it, and other people are sitting there going, wait a minute, that glass ceiling never existed in the first place. It's a mental block. I can aim as high as I feel like, or and do, there's no actual ceiling. It's just we feel these ceilings, I guess, from having grown up earning a weekly wage. They do have a ceiling as to how far your pay rises can go. We've been taught by people that are on weekly wages, like teachers and stuff, who do have a ceiling. So their mindset's always, not that they're always talking about money, but their mindset is always in that sort of a ceiling type limit on everything in life. And it's really interesting just seeing somebody at that point. I know where you're at because I've seen people skyrocket past this now. You've actually gone past what might have been a ceiling for you, and now should probably be the floor. Really, you're doing incredible.
A really good point, Mark. I mean, I think those who we're sharing this, my personal story with it, it's all belief, right? So you get to one milestone, and you're like, wow, I just achieved that. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty cool. And then you get to the next milestone, and you're like, wow, I just achieved that. And you're like, oh, okay. And then before you know it, you're like, okay, now I've just profited $1,000 in one day. Like, oh, okay, now I know that's possible. So I think a lot of times until we know or have experienced it personally, it's hard to believe. And I get that. But yeah, I see what you're saying, and I've lived what you're saying. And I think the glass ceiling is, yes, definitely, it's an illusion. It doesn't exist. And to be open to possibility is really where you want to be. And it's all a mindset.
What does your husband think of it all? Like, he must be pretty proud of you and everything you've done so far.
Yeah. Well, probably don't have so long to talk about that, but it's a pretty cool story. And he's just super supportive, and he knows, I'm competitive by nature. So I think there's a lot of trust in the fact that he knows the kind of person I am. He knows in our relationship, I'm not one to give up easily. And so it's like, if this girl says she's going to do it, she's going to do it. And I would say that is the most beautiful part of our relationship, is that at the core, it's trust. And so he's very supportive.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I'm really, really impressed with everything that you've done so far, and I bet you've been very inspiring to everyone listening. Have you got any final words, I guess, for anybody that might be considering either one, joining a workshop with Keegan and discovering more about this, or two, maybe they're already on the fence about joining before the doors close?
I do. And I want to speak to those people who are doubting directly. And I'm a firm believer in that, we all need mentors and coaches in our lives. If you look at anybody successful in any sport or arena out there in the world, they all will harness the power of a mentor or coach. And I've invested thousands of dollars in myself, and I can tell you it's worth every penny, not only for what it's rendered financially, but what the outcome is mentally. And you will never lose when you invest in yourself. So I really want to have that be my parting message to you all, and that this program is viable. It works. You have to put in the work. It's not, a lot of times people will buy something and think it's going to be given to them. I have worked also to make this successful. However, the backbone of it all is there for us. And so that's all I wanted to say.
Awesome. Thank you. You've been absolutely awesome. Thanks so much for being open
Yeah.
and sharing with everything. Greatly appreciate your time. And for everyone listening, take action with what you learn, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now, everybody.